you basically take your deck out in front of you, you shuffle it, and then you just simply place the token, the colored token matching your deck, in front of your pile. So this is your draw pile. It's important to mark the draw pile because there could be times in the game where your draw pile is face up, and it can get confusing which pile is your draw pile and which is your discard pile. So the token is simply, its simple and only function is to mark your draw pile. Okay, so now to start the game, the red player would just draw one card. So then they now would have two cards in their hand. Now each card has two sides, okay? So during your turn you have a choice of which card to play and also which side to play on that card. You always have to end the turn with one card, so if you end up with more than one card in your hand, you need to play another one. If you end up with less, you need to draw up to one. So in this case, this player would play a burn card, so we'll play our burn 3, just place it in the middle of the table, and we'll target the green player. So the green player would just simply take the first 3 cards off the top of the deck and put them in the discard pile with no effect. And once the action has been completed, the red player would discard their card. That player's turn is over. It would move to the next player. So we move the game clockwise, and it would go to the blue player. And the blue player simply draw a card, same thing, and you go around like this. Now the blue player has a special card, replace, recycle. Okay, so they have a choice between that and burn or refresh. So it's early in the game, so this player would probably use their burn refresh and burn 4. So let's say they also go after green player. Green player burns 4. Okay, and blue player discards and their turn ends. Okay, now it moves to green player. Now the green player is down some cards we see. Okay, so they would draw their card. They have 2 cards. So let's look at the refresh mechanic, because they have a lot of cards in the discard pile and they're going to want to get cards back in their deck. So they have actually a refresh 4 and only a burn 1. So this card is actually advantageous to use refresh. So they play refresh out front. Refresh lets them take the top 4 cards of their discard pile and put them under the deck, the draw pile, in any order. So they'll take their cards, rearrange, and back under. Okay, so this is how you can get cards back in your deck as the course of the game goes along. So just because, if someone's ganging up on you, that's a question we get a lot. What if 3 players gang up on one? Yes, you can do that, but there are cards in the game that could severely penalize those players. For example, there's a switch card that lets you essentially switch your whole deck and pile with another player. So if you're down to your last 5 cards, all of a sudden you get a switch card, you switch with someone else who has a lot of cards, and voila, the game's changed. Organized chaos. Several different cards like that. That's the basic game function. It goes around the table like that. There's a lot of different special cards that can change the game, and essentially you play till there's one man left standing.